I don't know if it's lacking quality. What it is it's lacking diversity. Most learning in Bangladesh, most learning in India is done through one method. Here is some information, learn it, and then reproduce it. What they need to do is to learn that information, but then learn how it connects to other pieces of information and how you can make that connection a constructive and creative one. How do you use technology in such a way that you can help protect our world from us, protect it from a pollution perspective, protect it from a sustainability perspective, protect it from a population perspective. And these are all challenges that we all have to face up to, whether it's in Bangladesh or India or elsewhere in the world. And so none of us know the right answer. None of us have an instant solution. And that's true in Finland, and that's true in Singapore, that's true in Bangladesh, and that's true in India. What we have to do is to continue to work to get better at what we're doing, to come up with new ways of doing it and to test those and find out that if they work effectively, then to put them in place. We have excellent Bangladesh students. They are caring, interested, committed young men and women who work hard both for their future and for the future of others. They're interested in developing their own skills and interested in assisting others develop their skills. I think South Asian cultures, and particularly Bangladesh and India, have this strong family nature. And so if you're talking to somebody from South Asia, you're not just talking to them, you're talking to their father, and you're talking to their grandmother, and you're talking to their daughter and their grandson. You know, that somehow people here represent their whole family in one way or another. And so that makes it a very interesting culture to work in, and one where people take a long-term view of things. They don't take just a short-term view. And the Bangladeshi students we have are very much of that type. And so it's a pleasure to have them in the school, and it's a pleasure to see them grow and succeed. Well, so many changes. The world has changed so deeply, but in education in particular, I see that the changes are only now beginning to really have impact. If you look at medicine over the last 40 years, it's a completely different profession. Teaching still has similarities to what took place before. But it's starting to change as we start to understand how students learn, we start to understand how best to facilitate that learning, and we understand what the needs of the future start to guess at what the needs of the future are. So teachers now are being challenged in ways that they were never challenged before. They're challenged by the use of technology in education, challenged by the need to have a different relationship with the people that they're trying to teach, the learners in their care, challenged by some of the trials of the 21st century. It's very difficult to be a young person nowadays with the impact of social media and all sorts of other things. It's not as straightforward as when I was young. So I see a huge amount of change, but a huge amount of hope as well. I think leadership is a vital part of being ready for the 21st century. You have to be prepared to be a leader, to take up opportunities for leadership, and when you do that, to be an ethical, purposeful, thoughtful, kind leader, not just a leader for the sake of leadership. And so we at the Academy, we work very hard. We teach leadership, we have lessons on what it means to be a leader, but we also provide a myriad of opportunities to be leaders and to practice leadership and to learn through failing to be a good leader. All of these things are important parts of what it means to develop those skills. And then once you have developed them, being willing to exercise them is another key part. So we think that we will see the benefit of this part of education, not immediately, not now, but in 20 and 30 years' time, when our graduates are taking on the challenges of what will be a very complex world. In all countries around the world, there has been this emphasis on memory, and that good learning has been regarded as having a good memory. I think nowadays the emphasis is changing. It includes memory, and I think memory is a vitally important part of a good education, being in control of a body of knowledge. But it also involves creativity. It also involves connecting different bits of knowledge so that you understand from different sources what that means. And it very much involves, I think, personality and other people. A good education now must include, how do I get on with others? How do I manage to work with and through teams of people? And that's an interesting part of the change that we're confronting.